Okay.
Right, that's okay. So we are saying the probability is actually the required outcome of what? The possible outcome. These outcomes are could depend with the given condition. My conditions anenge achingosiyana kuti wakapiwa achihandika, but it's all about my outcomes on now. So the basic part, I think you understand it. Like let's just say, for example, if we are given a coin, there are two things that you can consider on a coin. That is what we have got: a head and what? A tail. And these are the outcomes that you're expecting to have. So that means for us to have the outcomes that we are going to have, like the total outcomes, we're saying we are expecting one head and one tail. So at the end, we're expecting our main outcomes. That is two outcomes from a coin. So that is like our total outcome. So which means the probability now of picking a head is going to be what? We are saying the probability of picking a head. How many heads can we expect, or can we have from this, from one coin?
One.
So it's going to be one out of what? The total now you have to expect, which is what? Which is two. Exactly. So it's the same thing. If you're going to talking about the probability of picking a tail, it's going to be, of having a tail, it's going to be 1/2. So these are like conditions that you're given. So it's best for us to know different conditions. So for us to have these conditions, it's best to work with question papers, and they can do to write my questions and about a coin, a die, this and that. Question papers also. All right. Then the other part I'm going to explain was it's like the same. It's like you're talking about a die, you're talking about a coin. Just like this, I want you to see this part. Let's just say we have got a probability of a child being born. If a child is being born, you're expecting to have two things again, which is what? A boy or a?
Yeah.
So you see, it's the same thing, just like what we had on a head and a tail, which is on a coin. So ndo andiri kuti ma-conditions kuti anofanira kuzongozikanwa kuti right nei zvinofambidzana at least zvinozotibatsira muexam kuti azotise azotipedzera time. All right. We have got some of the laws that we're going to work with. So I'm just going to give you the basic part so that let's say we have a condition where we are given these words either or. Let's just say what your probability of picking either A or B. On that part, you're supposed to add the outcomes. So we are simply going to add what? Outcomes. If we are given both, actually both and from Zananan, demand English and.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one you're going to multiply outcomes. All right. So what I'm simply saying, you've got two conditions from different, maybe they can be from different outcomes. So, but no nema conditions are you are going to what? You're going to multiply for both ends. For either or, you're going to add. And you can treat this.
Yes.
All right. So I think my basic part now. Then I'm just going to explain this part. Consoles with Batsira is we are doing why is it I'm hearing my feedback? There's something that you can. Hello, Nathan.
Yeah, I don't know which way to the best.
Okay, I think it's fine. All right, we have got this condition of playing cards. If we are given playing cards, how many playing cards do we have actually?
52.
You've got 52 playing cards, and so these are some of the things that also to so for playing cards, which means they are found in sets. A set of diamonds, we've got spades, we've got hearts. So the sets not for Zotimangan, so we've got our main sets, 4 sets, and they're divided into 2, which is red, and the other one, which is what? Which is black.
Black. Yeah, but
All right, so on this type of a question, ndo patokwanisa kutarisira manje mawedzi akaita sana both and vana either or vava ndo patokwanisa kumatarisira, because you can be given to find the probability of maybe the probability here of picking. Okay, let's just say a yellow 5. Sorry, I'm now mixing things. So we need a red 5 here, or a black J. All right, so yeah, I'm just giving so just an example that you can have. Maybe you're given to find the probability of picking what, a red 5 or a black jack. So dopat not so kapaji from this consideration of what, either or, we are supposed to add what, the outcomes. So we are going to ask ourselves to say, how many outcomes do we have? Like, how many cards do we have which are red, which are 5, a red 5 out of the cards, 5 at negative, mangana at neo a red. All right, sorry, Truti. Pama cards atinenge tinao ese how many cards cards 5 but are a red anengane color a red.
a red 5.
Yes, a red like anengane color a red ane number ya 5 because you are saying a red 5. Cards mangani pama 5s atinao anenge akatakura a red color. So you're going to have 2 mona pana panema hearts nepanema chi nepanema diamonds. Ndo cards atinaona areji red parikoneka. So which means tina 5 wema hearts, tina 5 wema chi wema diamonds. So which means we have got 2 of them out of 52 playing cards. But since here we are being told about picking a red 5 or a patrungona this word or takutodzoka paya patatu kwanisa kupiwa either or, so which means takutoita se takufunga kuadd ma-outcomes edu parikoneka. Then we've got a black jack. Out of vana j vati now, how many are in black?
2.
You've got 2, the one for spade and the one for what, for clubs. So which means we're going to have 2 out of 52. Then from there we can add, which is 4 out of 52. Is that so? Here we are taking advantage of what? Of the denominators, they're the same. So we are going to simply add the numerators. So then from there you can reduce 5 out of 52 is what? 5 out of 52, that's something like 1 over 13.
Yeah.
All right, so my outcomes up, I think, are direct. So if I do not want to waste much time, let me just insert this PDF ET. One some of my questions are basic. Then also tell some about my tree diagrams. I think the one with my challenge is 1 or 2, but this part is actually direct. All right, let's just see here. All right, there's this PDF here. I don't know Kanamina. Okay, let me just show you. So now you just remind me those resender so that you can see Nongopama topic by topic, like some basic questions from question papers. This one, probability. All this is actually a tree diagram. It's fine. Maybe okay, there's a thesis. Ningoiseta mamwacho tono tanichi. Kana aripo then now we just explain it or not. No good I say because it's actually important also to know that part. All right, let me okay. The last one. All right, let me just insert the last page. This one. Remove this. Right. So Tinema questions are yeah. Let me just try to increase this neck. All right. Not the tarisema questions are panapa. Do tatanga ndima questions asingadi kuita chi asingadi ma tree diagrams and tungoona kuti tinozvifambisa sei then tozoenda kune mamwe acho and
Okay.
all right, this question number 3 iri kuoneka.
Yeah, iboneka.
All right, so number 3, we are given that a drama club has got how many members? 15 members, 8 of whom are girls. Find the probability of randomly choosing a boy from what? From the group. Okay, so the first thing is to ask ourselves, how many boys do we have out of 15 members if 8 are girls?
There's 7 boys.
Then we're going to subtract, it's going to be what?
7.
7. Okay, so we're going to have 7 boys. So the question now is to find the probability of what? Of picking what? A boy. So it's going to be what? So probability of picking a boy is going to be 7 out of 15 exactly. So now 7 boys out of the total members, which is what? Which is 15. All right. Now on item 2, we are given that 6 more members joined the club to bring the total membership to 21. Okay, given that the probability then of randomly choosing 2 girls, one after the other, becomes 3 out of 14, find the number of new girls who joined the what? The club. Okay. This one, I want you to see what is happening. It's going to depend with the question mostly. Because I was just a tree diagram, but for this one, there was no need for us to have a tree diagram. I want us to actually concentrate on this part here that we added how many members? 6. Then we've got a total of 21. Okay. From this part, we are saying that given that the probability of then, which means on this condition of 21, we had to choose how many girls? 2 girls from that condition. All right. Don't target Paguti. How many girls are now there? It's actually, we do not know this number of girls because what we just know is that we added 6 more members. We are not told here to say these members that we have are boys or girls, which means we are talking about them, all of them mixed together. So we are going to ask ourselves, okay, since we do not know the number of girls which were added to these girls that were originally there, which is what? Which is 8, because originally we are seeing we've got 8. So that means we're going to have 8 plus unknown, because that is what on this group. So since we do not know, we just say that it's going to be X. But I want us to see something here, that if we are given this condition, we are going to have something of this nature to say. These are like maybe let's have 10 out let's say tangatine 9 girls. We've got 9 girls here and we've got 3 boys. Out tangeta bata concept. Kana tine this conditioning, which means we've got a total of 12. And again, if we are to pick here probability of picking two girls, you want probability of what? Of picking two girls. Probability of picking that is two girls. On this one, it depends with the condition that you're going to have. Is it with replacement or without replacement? Continuity, it's with replacement or it's without replacement. Now tiri tatora one musikana pavasikana vese vanga varipo tabvisa musikana one, then tinokwanisa kudzosera zvekare from the group of what, of 12 members that was there. Or kana tatobvisa musikana one from the group hachatodzokeri, which means it's going to affect the number of girls which are remaining, and also the total is going to be affected. Which is a normal condition inofange iri every probability as long you pick twice, unless you are told that it's with replacement. So on a randomly selection that you're going to have, which means we are going to work without replacement, that is the one that you're going to work with on a randomly selection, whatever that you're going to have, unless you are told it's a random selection but there is with replacement, which means that one does not affect, because so it's like there's nothing happened. It neutralizes everything. So with replacement, work with it on a condition that you are given. It's a without it's a with a replacement, then work with that. Then without replacement, on a randomly selection, work with what? Without replacement. Yes, but now without replacement, they can tell us even it's without. Yes, it's an advantage. But if you are not told for two conditions, you're going to operate with what? Without replacement. Okay, so what does it mean? Now without replacement. So without replacement means the first pick is going to be because remember we have to pick two girls. So to just pick the first girl out of these 9 girls is going to be 9 out of what? 9 out of 12. My chances of one, it's out of these 9 girls which are there. So to cancel pick any one of them. So that is 9 over 12. But pick a man, since this one is and, because you are picking the first one and the other one, which means you're going to multiply our outcomes. Remember, we said we were going to put both, and you're going to multiply my outcomes here to whenever you've got both and our outcomes has to be multiplied. Okay, but we are saying here we have picked the first one, which is out of 9. We are saying, okay, this is the first pick that you're going to have. Now we are picking to say we have removed 1 girl here. So how many are remaining out of 9 here? So which means we are going to remain with our main girls with 8. So patuzinotra mskano 2 inengatwa 8 out of what? It has also affected the total because our members, they were 12. But we have removed 1 girl, so which means also the total number of members is going to be affected. It will be what? It will be 11.
Yeah.
That is the condition that you're going to work with. Then from there, you can simply work out whatever that you have, or multiply or divide, or whatever that you have. So with this condition, with numbers, you can show question not chance. Suppose this one, Tangat's number, you are now given a letter to say post that is Tawedzera, or scanner 8, Tana 8 plus X. Okay, so let's answer our question now. Our question is from this part, given that the probability then of randomly choosing 2 girls, one after the other became what? 3 out of 14. So which means one after the other. That is without replacement. Exactly. All right. So what are we going to have? We are given the answer. That's okay, Panapa. If you calculate this part, you're going to obtain an answer, isn't it? If you calculate this, you're going to obtain a certain answer. So this is what we are given here. Our answer for that probability is what? Is 3 over 14. So find the what? The number of new girls who joined the club. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. Vaskana vese varipota vakunzi 8 plus what? 8 plus x. So it's going to be 8 plus x over what? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, are we together?
Yeah,
All right, so we are saying here the number of girls that we have is 8 plus x. So the probability is going to be 8 plus x. Out of how many members now? How many members are there? If you add 6 more members, which means 15 plus 6, you are going to have how many members?
21.
21 members. So you're now having 21 members here. So which means just to pick a girl, we are talking about the total number of girls which are there, which is 8 plus x. Out of what? Out of 21 members. That is the first pick.
Yeah,
Exactly. Then takwenda on the other one now because it's one after the other. That is, depends on pick one, to pick another one. So it's going to be times now. What is then going to be the outcome for this one? What are we going to have on this one? Okay, we have 8 plus x girls, which means out of 8 plus x girls, we have removed how many girls? We have removed one to pick one, which means these are the chances, but we have picked one girl. So which means we are going to subtract what? 1. So at the end, we are going to have what? 8 minus 1, which is 7 plus 7 plus x. All right, so this is now the total yawaskana Sarah Tasarana 7 plus x. Out of how many total now for our membership?
20.
It's now out of 20 because there were 21, but we have to subtract 1. So now we are left with what? With 20. So that was the way that we are supposed to have found what? The probability. And we are given that after finding this, our total there, this is the probability, which is what? 3 over 14. So we have created an equation now to say, okay, kana zvanga zvichazvaifanga taita answer iri 3 over 14. Saka takwanisa kusolve for what? Solve for x. By solving for x, what are we solving? But to solve for x. Solving for x, we are talking about the new girls because we said let x be the what? The new girls which were added to the group. So which means if we solve for this x, we are solving for the number of what? Of the new girls who joined the club. That is the idea there. Hello?
Yeah.
All right, so how are we going to solve this equation now? This is the question now. We've got this equation. Tingaita will say question edwi. Tingai solve or say abam. What can we actually do? All right, so it's gonna depend, but Nukansaku multiply my outcomes edu. The first part here on top, that is what 8 plus x. Remember, 8 plus x and x plus a wrong for Nanand. Hello? Exactly. So it's going to be x plus 8, 7 plus x also, and x plus 7. So you can multiply the numerators, then we can multiply the denominators. 21 times what? 20 is going to give us what? 21 by 20 here is something like 420. All right, which is equal to 3 over what? 3 over 14. Okay, so my question is, how can we remove this 420 here? Yes, we've got a fraction, we're supposed to cross multiply it also, but how can we simply remove this 420? I could divide up, so I can say, do multiply by 420 both sides, because that I say, I could divide up, so which means these two can cancel. I'm not gonna treat this up.
Yeah.
All right, so which means can cancel up and up, we're going to remain with these two brackets of what? Of x plus 8 into x plus 7, which is equal to what? Then here we can divide 420 divided by what? By 14. Here, let's just use our calculator, divide by 14. as something like 30. Then 30 by 30 is going to be what? 90.
9.
All right. So we are now left at this stage. We are supposed to solve now the Zugapa stage. How are you supposed to solve this equation? Let's just say question yangu ya day iri paper 1 kana to paper 2. I'm going to solve this equation. How do you solve? All right, so here we can actually expand brackets. Expand brackets. So by expanding brackets, we are going to have what? Remember, these two brackets is going to be x and x here, which is what? X squared. Then x times 7. 7x. All right, we are done with x to end up on 8. So it's 8 times x, which is what? 8x.
8x.
Then 8 times 7, which is 56. All right, then we can transpose. Since the expander, we can even transpose the 90 to the what? To the left-hand side. So if we transpose this, is going to be what? Negative 90, so that we remain with a 0. Remember, it's a quadratic equation that you're going to formulate. So you must have it in this format, whereby one side is equal to what? Is equal to 0. All right, then from there we can collect like terms. That is x squared plus 7 plus 8 is what? 15.
15.
Okay, then I will subtract 56 minus 90, same as 90 minus 56. Then we take the sign of the bigger number in also to negative what?
Minus 34.
Minus 34.
Negative 34.
All right,
Yes.
which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0. All right, then from there, actually this question will be in paper 1 mostly. It was usually paper 1. So how are we going to solve from there? Because it will be paper 1, maybe paper 1 I don't know calculate actually. So you have to factorize something like that.
Okay.
So which means on factorization, how are you going to factorize this? Factorization.
Multiply x squared minus 34.
It's going to be?
X squared multiplied by negative.
Or we have to
34.
multiply these two.
Yes.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Okay, I'll just explain the shorter way. Okay, it's fine. We're going to have what? Negative 34x squared. Then from there we have to find what factors of negative 34x squared. Okay, which is what? Which is the upper factors are not 15.
17 and 2. So
17 and negative 2.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So ndo atakunozosera in the place of the middle term, which is 15x.
X.
All right. So it's going to be x squared plus 17x minus what? Minus 2x minus 34 is equal to 0. And, all right, then we can factor out here x, this and that. So I think at this stage it's now clear. X here is going to be what? X plus 17. Okay, then is that so?
Yes, x plus 17.
Okay, on these two, what is common? Negative 2.
Negative 2.
Okay, so if we divide negative 2x by negative 2 is going to be x. Negative and negative here is going to be what? 17.
Positive. Yeah.
All right, so it's going to be positive 17 here. All right, so we've got positive 17 is equal to 0. Then from there, since these brackets are the same, we just have to take one of the brackets. That is x plus 17. We factor it out. We are remaining with what? X minus 2. So x is going to be what? Negative 17, or x is going to be what? Positive 2. Is that so?
Positive 2. Yes.
All right. So from the answers that we have obtained, which one now is going to be the exact answer here? And what's the reason for that? Because remember, guys, we are solving for x. That's okay, Panap. We are solving for x, and but this x is representing what? The number of new girls who joined the group. And we said, let those be what? Be x. So can we say we have got negative 17 girls? Is it possible?
No.
So which means actually the negative is going to be out. So therefore our answer is going to be what? Positive 2. So therefore 2 girls were added.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is the condition that you're going to have actually on this part. So please take note on this part, guys. It's very, very important for you to understand this, especially when dealing with what with 2 outcomes. So I'm going to explain more now on the probability tree diagram. Actually, this part E, we can even shorten. If you know the probability tree diagram like this one, we could have used it that way. But if you know it, you can even shorten the tree diagram. Sometimes nengo stombona need to say or go through all that procedure. All right, so the probability tree diagram is actually only a condition like these questions. Sorry, hello?
Yeah, hello.
Oh, sir, just a second. I wonder who is okay, it's fine. So I was saying here on the probability tree diagram, it actually depends with my questions at Nengetakapiu and
Okay.
okay, sorry guys, just a second. I think there's someone at the door.
Okay, no problem.
Oh.
Hello, everybody.
Faiz.
Mother.
Oh. All right. Yes, hello. Hello.
Hello, hello. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me explain this part here. All right, so we said you're going to have what? The tree diagram. So actually on this part it depends with those conditions that I said earlier before, where you are going to work with two ways, that is with replacement and without replacement.